Silently. Street dancing.
Finally, where have you been?
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 Silently. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Street unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Zion Lake. Streets unsafe.
Finally, where have you been?
Silently. 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 Streets unsafe.
Finally,